What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and this is your Brandon Moreno versus Alexandre Pantoja 3 breakdown, because the man whooped him twice. All right, the man whooped him twice. But yeah, man, phenomenal fight in the flyweight division. Probably. I've been always hyped for the Deiveson Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno fights. They've all been great in my humble opinion. Some of them, actually not all of them, but most of them have been great. But this one right here, this rivalry right here, is another one that I've been kind of waiting for, the one I've been petitioning for. I felt like the man should have got the title shot after he beat Brandon Royval. But hey, it is what it is. You know, the UFC do what the UFC do. But luckily, Pantoja has gotten his title shot. Y'all know I love Pantoja. He's my guy. And I am not the biggest fan of Lego Boy. And Lego Boy is a phenomenal fighter. Is a Hall of Fame worthy fighter. Has dethroned or ended the Figueiredo era in the flyweight division. So respect to him there. And he's a great fighter. But Pantoja is his boogeyman. Pantoja is his Alex Pereira. And does Moreno have that Adesanya in him? Does he have that moment in him where he can finally get the W? Maybe. There has been a lot of differences between both these guys since their first two fights. A lot of improvement from both guys, and especially from Moreno. If you were to ask me who's improved more, I would say probably Moreno. But Pantoja is still that guy. He is still that dude. And ever since his Askar Askarov loss, he has been on a run, and he is hungry for that gold. And I love this fight, man. It's an awesome fight. You have the champion who's fighting a challenger that is his daddy. Is his father. And I love the storyline. It's a lot of redemption, a lot of setting the record straight, a lot of I am that guy, I am Himothy, I am that dude, I am your champion. Kind of an opportunity for Moreno here, if you know what I'm saying. He has a real opportunity to really set the record straight and really kind of define himself as the number one flyweight in the world, because there is still questions. There's still guys that say, hey, I don't think he's that guy. There's still people that doubt him. So, and those people are me. And but there's a lot of reason to think so. Pantoja does have a win over him. Does have 2 wins over him. My bad, y'all. You see how the world and the media has tried to trick the people into thinking Pantoja only has 1 win over this guy? No, 2 times, baby, because he didn't need to do it twice. He said, I need to do it twice. I messed that up, but doesn't matter. I messed that up, y'all. All right, whatever. We're done with the intro. Let's talk about the stats, though. And this is a film study breakdown, so yeah. Yeah, man, a phenomenal fight. I love it. Brandon Moreno is obviously the champion. Comes with a record of 21-6-2. So crazy 2 draws. And he's fighting out of Texas, I think, right? That's where he's fighting out of now. Age 29, a height of 5'7", and a reach of 70. Pantoja has a record of 25-5, is fighting out of Florida with ATT, age 33, a height of 5'5", and a reach of 68. So obviously Moreno's going to come with that reach advantage, 2-inch reach advantage. And yeah, so I did a film study breakdown on this. I didn't go too hard on it. I just kind of looked at their 2 fights with each other, and obviously their most recent fights collectively. So yeah, so stylistically, if we go look at that first fight on Tough, I actually thought Moreno did his best work in that first fight. I thought he landed better shots, and I think the thing about this matchup that makes it so interesting is that Moreno actually has the better boxing out of the 2, but in both fights, there's always just been scenarios and in situations where Pantoja is just beating him to the punch or has the more power out of the 2, and he's just hitting the harder shots, which is weird. Now, obviously, I feel like Moreno, since these fights, have actually really improved on his boxing, but he still does leave himself open, and he still is open to get hit. So that's going to be interesting to see how the striking exchanges are in this fight coming up. So yeah, that's also something to look at. But you look here, good uppercut after that, another good uppercut, and he's just landing the quicker shots. But Pantoja's coming back though, and he's always landing his right, and he lands another good lead uppercut, kind of hurts Pantoja. Good lead hook, and then high knee from Moreno right there. Another good 1-2 lead hook combo, and then Pantoja lands a good leg kick after that. And that's also another thing going into this matchup that I think a lot of people are not talking about is the leg kicks at Pantoja. We saw against Davis and Figueiredo in that third fight. That's what kind of pulled Davison out of the trenches for him, was the leg kicks. When he started attacking the legs in that third fight, that's how he really won it. He's how he won the trilogy, in my opinion, were the leg kicks. And when he kind of stopped Moreno's movement, because Moreno has good footwork, he's very good at circling the octagon and throwing that jab and then throwing combinations. He doesn't do the best of getting out of the opposing punches after, like, he'll attack, right? He'll throw his like 1-1-2 and then right, and but after that, he doesn't really move his head. He throws his punches and then he gets hit after that. It's something you'll notice a lot in Moreno's fights. But he kind of does get out of the way because he's moving his feet. But when Figueiredo shut that down, the punches started, landing more at a rapid pace, and he started knocking him down. And that's basically what Pantoja did in both fights, real talk. Less in the first one though. But yeah. But Pantoja's real bread and butter in this fight were the takedowns, and when he started landing these takedowns, that's when the fight kind of changed. And then when he got in the clinch, he just beat him up with elbows and just eviscerated him, and that's when this fight kind of completely went to his favor. And especially when he got him to the ground, it was just levels. And you can know, if you know Pantoja, his bread and butter is his jiu-jitsu, and what Moreno has been able to do in his last few fights is mix things up. Moreno, in my opinion, really win this fight, he's gonna have to keep this standing. I don't think he can afford to mix it up with Pantoja, because Pantoja will humiliate him on the ground, and like he did in this first fight. And eventually he ended up submitting him and taking advantage of it. And that is the difference between Pantoja and Moreno. It's that simple. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just a fact. But it is what it is. And I thought Moreno, he had his moments, but it just wasn't enough. So eventually, this was on TUF when they had their fight, but hey, it is what it is. They run it back again, and obviously you'd assume Moreno would be like, hey, all right, he's beating me in the grappling, maybe I should try the striking. And he tried it, and he got beat there. It was this second fight is such a weird fight to look at, because it's so clunky and sloppy at moments, but it's just the power difference between both guys is what separated it. And it's just, Pantoja just walked him down like a zombie and landed this beautiful knee in the clinch, and just from there just was hurting him. And obviously just Moreno couldn't hurt Pantoja. I think that's the biggest issue is, yeah, Moreno's durable, but Pantoja's way more durable, and he will walk him down like a zombie in the striking. Even if it's not pretty, he will hit the harder shots. And even if it goes to the ground, you can just see it. Moreno does get the takedown here, but Pantoja's just able to get up and just outclass him on the ground. And he's just the more proficient grappler out of the two, and he showed it in the second fight. And the leg kicks was also a big factor that led to the punches for Pantoja. He would throw the legs, he'd throw the leg kicks, and then he'll throw the hooks right after in a decent little, barrage of punches. And he kept doing this, he attacked the legs, and he completely disabled Moreno's front leg and his boxing. And that's what Moreno's really good at. Moreno throws good kicks, don't get it twisted. He has a good high kick, and he does throw good kicks, but his bread and butter is his boxing. He loves to box. And he's good at it, but when he loses that lead leg, you just lose leverage on your jab. You lose the power that can come from your cross when you lose your legs. And Pantoja did a great job at that. And don't get it twisted, he landed some good shots, but obviously that lead uppercut was still there for him, like he did in the first fight. But Pantoja again just walked him down like a zombie, and he just hurt him. You could just see, like, anytime they got close, even if it was a sloppy punch, there would just be these overreactions for Moreno when he got hit. And it's just levels. It's levels, you know. Another good leg kick by Pantoja. And, you know, one thing, he does leave himself open when he does throw those leg kicks, because he's throwing naked leg kicks. But still, again, you know, if he's able to take the punch, which I don't want him going out there and taking punishment from Brandon, but at the same time, if he can do that and break his legs, basically break him down with leg kicks, that's what I mean, the punches will come, and he will beat this guy up, you know, eventually, and he'll walk him down, and he will get in these grappling situations where he'll dominate, and it'll go downhill from that. And you could just see, again, more leg kicks in this fight. He did a real good job of just walking this man down and just dog walking him, basically. That's what it came down to. And anytime he got on top of Moreno in this fight, oh my God, he beat him up and then took his back. Like, it just was a beatdown. Like, it's like he took this boy to the shed and just whooped him, you know? Like, my God, like, real talk. And he would throw these sloppy punches, these 1-2 and stuff like that, and then get in the clinch. But he would just work them, and there was nothing Moreno could do. It was a man dealing with a child. That's what it looked like. It really was. No disrespect, you know? But there were just these moments where, again, more leg kicks from Pantoja. He had this man broken. Good 1-2 from Pantoja here, and he wobbled Moreno a little bit, hurt him on the feet, and you could tell there's a power difference between both these guys, even if Moreno has the better boxing out of the two. And again, good knee in the clinch, and then just boom, 1-2. And he didn't give Moreno any space. He didn't let Moreno walk around and do his fancy footwork and throw his jabs and any of this stuff. Nah, he put pressure on him, and he just made it dirty. Like, it was a dirty boxing clinching fest, real talk. And then anytime Moreno would try to grapple, he would either get up and be like, nah, bro, nah, and continue to dog walk this man. And he would throw that right hand, and anytime Moreno got hit, it was bad. It somewhat reminded me of kind of what happened with Cannonier and Marvin. Is he kind of, when he threw that big right hand in the second round, Marvin was dazed. He wasn't in that fight after that. And that's basically what happened to Moreno after in the third round. He was done after that. And Pantoja just beat him up, man. He bloodied him up, and Moreno was just done. I think he was somewhat hurt after that. And fucking Moreno would throw this, not Moreno, Pantoja would throw this big head kick, and then there'd be this nice scramble, and, you know, Moreno tried to turn it into a takedown. Sorry for the noise. Moreno would try to turn it into a takedown, and then, you know, fucking Pantoja's like, nah, let's scrap. And he just beat this man up, bro, and he just fucking started scrapping with him at the end of that round, and it just was like, you're not that guy. You are not that guy. You are my son, basically. And those are the first two fights. Moreno has some success in the first fight with the boxing, and I think he does have the better technical boxing, but just the power and the dog of Pantoja is just too much. It's hard for me to describe it, but that's basically what it comes down to, is Pantoja has that dog in him. And Moreno has that dog in him, but Pantoja has a bigger dog in him, basically. And he's not the more technical guy, but he's just so good he has really good fundamental Muay Thai kickboxing. And you know, if you watch Muay Thai kickboxers and you just watch like American Top Team guys sometimes, they walk guys down, they put pressure on them, and they know when they're getting hurt, they need to clinch, or they need to wrestle. And that's what he's really good at. He will wrestle when he needs to wrestle. He's not a guy that's, I would like to strike. I'm a zombie. Let's strike. Let's scrap. Let's bang, right? Like, but he's a guy that will break you down if he needs to with the striking. He'll break you down with the grappling. And we saw that in his Alex Perez fight, man. My God, that fight was crazy. I mean, you know, some backstory into this. I thought this fight should have never been made, but he just took the fight anyway. He's like, all right, let's go, Perez. Let's go. And he made it his mission. Because, you know what's funny? When the interim title fight was made between Kai France and Brandon Moreno, Pantoja had made a post saying, I beat both these guys. But he had to fight Perez. He had to fight down. So he's like, all right, whatever. I'll earn the shot. It's okay, whatever. And this man went out there, fought Perez, walked him down, brawled with him, sprawled, just kept walking him down, got him in the clinch, took him down, got his back, and choked him out like he was a nobody. It was the most insane thing I've ever seen. Like, legit. Like, it was like Pantoja was like telling him to his face, you are not on my level. I am him. You know? And that's really what it came down to. Like, Pantoja is that guy, man. Real talk. And he has good grappling. He has good striking. I wouldn't say he has great striking he has good striking. I'll leave it at that. He's good striking, but he's a good MMA fighter. That's what it comes out. Because MMA isn't just about striking and just grappling as two individual things. It's about mixing those things up, and he's really good at mixing those things up. So going into this Moreno fight, it's going to be interesting, but you know, Moreno has obviously improved since that fight, and we've seen it, man. In this fourth fight against Figueiredo, he looked really good. He looked really good. And if you watch the other fights, the biggest problem with Moreno in all those fights is, besides the second one, he got touched up. He did get touched up. And this one, I feel like there was less of an issue of the weight cut for a Figueiredo, I would say, even though that was kind of my excuse for the second fight. I felt like was the weight cut for Figueiredo. I kind of can't say that in this one. Figueiredo kind of looked perfect, you know. He didn't look too drained. I truly believe the weight cut was an issue in that second fight. There's no reason why he looked that good. But in this one, this was more realistic, and it was more of a grappling fight. But he fought a smart fight. Moreno, if you look at those fights against Pantoja, what did he not do? He didn't move his head, right? In this fight, you know, and also Figueiredo didn't throw leg kicks in this fight. So that's also another thing. That's probably why he lost. But one thing about this fight that I feel like gets unnoticed is he touched, he got out, and he took Figueiredo down. He forced grappling situations, and the biggest reason for that, and I'm not a big fan of Saif Saud, I am not, but Saif Saud was a part of his corner. He did take over as head coach, I think, and he implemented that in Brandon Moreno's game, is that we need to take this guy down, and it worked. Figueiredo, yeah, he has a win over Pantoja. He completely mauled him and destroyed him and knocked him down and beat him up, but Moreno had the tools to beat him. He was almost his kryptonite, you know. It's weird. It was a rock, paper, scissors kind of thing with these three. But Figueiredo, even though he has wins over Moreno, or a win over Moreno, Figueiredo does gas out. And obviously Moreno with the better grappler. And in my humble opinion, Saif Saud attacked that, and he made it his mission. So one of the first things I saw was the initial takedown in the beginning of the first few seconds of that first round, and there were some good grappling situations, and Figueiredo, you know, held his own in those situations. But anytime he got on the feet, Moreno did a really good job of hitting him and then getting out the way. Threw a solid 1-2, and then got out the way, kept moving. And Figgy, he didn't attack after, which was weird, but it is what it is. Moreno would attack the body, hit the 2 after that. And you could just tell there's just such a big improvement in Moreno's boxing. But Figueiredo's a counter striker, a power counter striker. I wouldn't call Pantoja that at all. He's a marauding motherfucker. So I'm going to see how well his boxing truly improved and how well he's gotten better technically in this fight when he does fight Pantoja. Because Pantoja's not going to just be like Figueiredo, take a hit and then try to look for the counter. No, he's going to go forward and throw his own output and try to scrap with this guy. You know what I'm saying? That's basically how this fight's going to go, in my humble opinion. But again, I will say Moreno got better in this boxing. And again, beautiful takedown here. And really cool little grappling situation where they both go for the heel hook, and it was really crazy. It kind of got really bad, but they both ended up being okay, and they continued after that. Good first round, but Moreno won that. In the second round, again, good takedown from Figueiredo, but it wasn't enough. Moreno ended up getting back up, and they started engaging back in the striking. And again, Moreno does such a good job of just attacking him with the 1-1-2. It's his one of his better moves, his long hands. In both these matchups with Figueiredo and Pantoja, he's gonna have the reach advantage. So using these long straight shots is gonna be very, very important in this fight against Pantoja. I truly believe that, and he's gonna need that. And then obviously this is the most awesome grappling situation. Fucking what's it called? Moreno goes for the takedown here. Fucking Figgy reverses. Then Moreno reverses of his own, and then Figgy goes for the guillotine. It was insane. But after that, the fight kind of ended when Moreno had landed this beautiful hook on Figgy's eye. It was a punch. Figgy was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm over it. Fuck this. I'm going to 135. And Moreno ended up winning based on the eye poke. So that's pretty much it. So I've showed the film, and here's what it comes down to, in my humble opinion. Moreno's a really, really good, well-rounded fighter. Good wrestling, good boxing, good kicks, good jiu-jitsu. He's good everywhere. But in this fight against Pantoja, he's going to have to be the matador, and Pantoja's going to be the bull. Pantoja's going to go forward. He's going to walk him down. He's going to brawl with him. He's going to have the power advantage. He's going to also have good cardio. That's the thing. Moreno was kind of able to work Figueiredo because of the cardio issues, and he could take the punishment. And Figgy didn't have great output. Pantoja has power, has good output, and also has cardio. So, in my humble opinion, if I was Moreno's coach, or if I was someone in Moreno's team, or if I was picking Moreno, I would say he needs to jab him up. He needs to use his reach. He needs to defend takedowns, and he needs to apply that jab on him all night long and just jab him up. That's what it comes down to, and be defensively responsible. That's what it really comes down to. That's how he wins that fight. But that's just one way. I think Pantoja can beat this kid everywhere. Leg kicks, power punches, grappling situations. I think he could take down Moreno and maul him. I could really see that, y'all. I really could. And I think people just don't get Moreno isn't that guy when it comes to Pantoja. He's just not. He's looked amazing against Figueiredo. He's looked amazing against Askar Askarov. He's looked amazing against Kai Kara-France. But when it comes to fucking Pantoja, that's his father. Okay? I don't know how else to stress this. He's going to go out there and maul this dude. Like, I'm not trying to talk mess. I'm not trying to say Moreno's garbage. But there are just some guys that have your number. And fucking Pantoja is that guy. Could he do it out of Adesanya? Maybe he could. It is possible. But I just don't think so. I'm sorry. And if he does do it out of Adesanya, he's going to have to do it the fourth time, because it is not happening now. And I'm telling y'all, Pantoja's going 3-0 over this cat. Pantoja is going to break the Legos. He's not stepping on the Legos and be like, oh, my foot. No, he's breaking them, throwing them in the trash, and he's taking his son back to normal school. Okay, no more daycare with the Legos. He's taking his son back to school, and he's taking his belt. Okay, he's taking his belt. All right, it's that simple. I got Pantoja by 4th round, so I'm sorry, y'all. It is what it is. Pantoja is him. But yeah, that's my breakdown. Pretty much, that's how I see it going. I just think it's gonna be a good fight, though. I think it's gonna be a good fight. But I just think Pantoja's just he's gonna maul him, bro. He's gonna maul him, man. It's about to be some child abuse. It's about to be some child abuse. But yeah, 4th round sub for Pantoja. But hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown. Go follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter. Like, comment, and share the video. Let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing. Love y'all, and goodbye. I'm out of here.